Good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome. So great to have you. New folks, old folks, in-between folks, all of you folks. We are very excited about today's service. We've got some special guests. So sit down, let's get going. Every Sunday that we gather, we ring a bell. This bell is to remind us of our covenant. The first time we ring the bell, it is to remember that we gather on the unceded land of the MPUUC tribe of the Ohlone people. They were displaced and colonized, their land taken, and now they seek to regain their land as well as pass on their heritage, customs, and culture to their descendants. Everything we do to restore their rights and equality and sovereignty is working our way back into covenant. The second bell calls us into full relationship with ourselves and one another to recognize whatever broken promises or unhealed hurts, lingering scars that have left us disconnected from ourselves and one another. We intentionally widen our commitment to compassion and solidarity so that it takes the shape of beloved community. And the third bell calls us into relationship with our children and our children's children, generational sensitivity that helps us realize that what we do now or what we fail to do will be felt by those who come after us.
Welcome, beloveds. I'm the Reverend Dr. Sofia Betancourt, and it is my privilege to serve as president of your Unitarian Universalist Association. I hope you will allow me to begin by thanking our remarkable staff that is constantly finding new ways to support our congregations, our communities, as we respond to the needs of the day. We are in particularly challenging times, beloveds, as there are tensions around the ideologies, the world views that shape how we live our lives in these communities where we serve and in the nation writ large. The UUA is, of course, aware of threats that come from the political and social environment that we find ourselves in today, and we are determined to partner with you in supporting our congregations, our communities, and leaders such as yourselves that give so much to the investment in our values in the public square and in the possibility of beloved community. These are difficult times, and I know that when we partner together to find solutions, to respond in ways that prioritize our values while still taking seriously the safety of our loved ones and our communities, that together we will find new ways forward. I'm grateful for your time. I'm grateful for the ways that you live our values faithfully in the world, and I'm grateful for the ways we can connect together across congregations, communities, and institutions, and respond to the needs of this day. Be heartened, beloveds. I am hopeful whenever I get to witness this many Unitarian Universalists coming together in common cause. We will find our way forward. We will be with our loved ones, and most importantly, we will not be alone.
How many people recognized who that was? For those of you who have not seen her or met her, that is our beloved president of the Unitarian Universalist Association, Sofia Betancourt. And she was local to this area. She's preached in this congregation many, many years ago. Please join with me in reciting our unison chalice lighting. This is the mission of Mission Peak Unitarian Universalist Congregation. The foundation of Mission Peak is love. We are a spiritual community of open minds, nurturing growth and healing in ourselves and all people. Together, we strive to live compassionately, and courageously as we work for a nonviolent, just, and sustainable world.
Take out your phone, please.
Oh my gosh.
Oh God. Call someone and tell them that you love them.
Wait, that's so cute.
Aww.
Who are you gonna call?
Let me check my phone.
Oh, this is so hard to choose.
Oh, not that person.
I would say my roommate.
Hey, what's up?
I love you.
I'm so confused. Are you dying?
No, I'm not dying.
I love you because you're my brother, man. You've been there for me. You got my back and I got yours, man.
What's going on, man? You all right?
You think I'm kidnapped, tied up, saying goodbye?
I'm gonna call my mom.
My mom.
My mom.
Mom.
My gay mother.
Of course I'm going to call my mom. We're all mama's boys.
Aló, Alex, ¿necesitas algo de Costco?
No, I don't need anything from Costco. I'm good. Te aprecio. Te amo. Love you.
Okay. I love you too.
I'm just calling to let you know that I love you.
I love you.
Love you.
Love you.
Love you.
I love you.
Mom, I was just calling to let you know that I love you.
What's the catch?
I love you dearly and I miss you and I'm so proud of everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
Why was that a question? I've loved you for all the times that I've been not so great and you continue to love me anyway.
Yes. Unconditional
Okay,
love.
don't shade me.
I love you even more than you ever will know.
Oh, Mom.
Strong woman. That's my daughter.
Oh, I f***ing hate y'all.
I don't think she wants to talk to me.
Please leave your message for... Hello.
Hola, mami. Solo te llamaba para decirte que te amo mucho y que te extraño.
Love you too. Bye, mama.
Bye.
Why was that so emotional for you?
I grew up without my mom for 13 years. And I think for a long time, I blamed her for not being there for me. And it hasn't been until very recent that I can't hold on to that. And like, I need to be grateful.
Call someone and tell them that you love them.
Who should I call?
Who needs to hear it?
It's a good question.
That makes it interesting.
My heart just started going a little.
I got one.
I'm gonna call my dad.
My dad.
Please leave your message for...
This is awkward.
I would call my dead dad, but that's like kind of weird. And also probably someone else has his phone number by now.
I'm gonna call my dad because we have this kind of strained relationship. There was a bunch of marital issues, so it can be pretty resentful. I haven't really told him that I loved him in years.
Hey, buddy.
I'm calling you to tell you that I love you. And I do. Do you have anything to say to that?
I don't think I've heard you tell me that for a while.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to hear that. I love you too.
Love you too. Woo.
Feeling okay?
Yeah, I just didn't really expect him to be emotional like that. That felt good.
我一出世，我個媽爸唔係好多時同我講我愛你，所以我同我個媽爸唔會平時講我愛你。
Do you tell people that you're close to that you love them?
100%, except for my dad.
Why don't you?
I'm not calling my dad, no way.
How do you think your dad would respond if you told him you love him?
He'd probably be like, oh, Evan, all right, yeah. I mean, I'll do it, like,
Put him on
it.
speaker. Let's see what happens.
Yo, it. What's up, Dad? So I wanted to call you and tell you I love you, Dad.
Oh, that's so great, Evan. You hanging up?
I'll talk to you later, Dad.
Okay.
All right. You see how he didn't say it back? Yeah, he's just a goofball. It's all good.
Call someone and tell them that you love them.
I could call my best friend.
My best friend.
Very best friend.
Abdul.
Baxter.
Brandon.
Chris.
Gigi.
Maria.
Reina.
The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages. Your call has been... Please leave your message. Reach the voicemail box.
Son of a...
People don't answer the phone anymore.
I love you, but you didn't pick up the phone.
我只想跟你说一下我爱你，
我真的很感谢。
T'appelles parce que je veux te dire que je t'aime. Finalement, je le dis.
I love you. I love you so much.
I love you too. It's made my day. I love you because you love me because of what you see. And sometimes I don't see it in myself and it makes me feel wonderful. It just made my day. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm gonna call my best friend.
Love.
I love you because you have been my go-to, and you're getting me emotional, and my number one forever.
I really love you, and I just hope that you're doing great.
I'm making it. I miss you. You're like my sister and one of my best friends all rolled into one, and I love you.
I love you so much. You're making me cry.
You still there, Dee?
I love you too.
I'm gonna call Levi.
What up?
I just wanted to call and I'm gonna get emotional. And say I love you. We're going through a lot right now. Our friend who's in a coma. But I just want to call and tell you I love you.
Well, I know. I love you too. I mean, you've helped me out through so much, so.
Likewise.
Why do you think telling somebody we love them can like stir up emotions?
Because that's not an easy thing to feel or to say. It's hard to be vulnerable.
You might have noticed a few things about that video. It's sometimes hard to say, I love you, even to the very people whose picture most comes to mind in our personal definition of love. There are so many reasons why almost everyone really wants to say it, because we appreciate and have gratitude for people, or that we admire their character and their values and we try and integrate and emulate them. The joy that comes from having that person's attention or presence in our lives, or recognizing the sacrifice that they have made for us. But saying I love you out loud often comes with feelings of vulnerability. It's like reaching out to shake somebody's hand and worrying that they will just stare at your hand instead. Love is one of those things that feels very awkward when unrequited. Love unreciprocated can induce feelings of shame or unworthiness. And yet, we also know that hearing someone say to us that they love us can be one of the most important and even life-changing things that we never hear often enough. Hearing it, especially when we feel lost or alone, can feel like the returning of hope or joy after an untenable absence. It can make us smile for hours or even days or weeks. We are in the midst of our annual canvass here at Mission Peak Unitarian Universalist Congregation, and speaking on behalf of the board and the staff and our stewardship team, I can say that what we all do to make Mission Peak possible is an expression of love to you. We reach out for your hand, which comes with some vulnerability in the asking. Your pledge is one way that love returns. It feels amazing when that love completes a circuit and flows strong. But the love that we share doesn't end with members or here at Sunday service. It doesn't stop at the door. The love we're cultivating is trying to spill out into the world around us. Many of you have shared how exciting and energizing it is that we are undertaking efforts to help people who are unhoused feel the powerful example of our purpose to love the hurt and hate out of the world. And it is reaching many of the people who need love the most. Our efforts of hope and joy are going to people who sometimes live on the unrequited side of love. Our outreach to people living unhoused is one of the many goals that we have to share our love with the world. But I want to introduce you this morning to someone for whom finding ways to channel love to the unhoused is their primary goal. Abode seeks to end homelessness by providing services to low-income and unhoused persons while also working to reduce the causes leading to the loss of housing. Last year, their services helped over 8,600 people on any given night across 8 counties in the Northern Bay Area. We offer our Share the Plate so that we can support partners who make a difference on issues that extend our mission of love so that we can all work together to love the hell out of the world. Today we are incredibly blessed to have with us the CEO of Abode, Vivian Wan, who will tell us more.
Thank you. I'm going to use that, love the hell out of the world. That's great. So thank you for the warm welcome both by Reverend Ward and everyone. I don't know how many people came up and introduced themselves to me, so I just feel very welcome here. And thank you so much for being such a positive part of the community. We need more and more and more of you, of us. I've been asked to say a few words about Abode, and we were introduced a little bit, but first I want to say that Abode wouldn't exist if it weren't for people like you in this room. We were actually founded in the late 80s by a group of faith leaders who saw the growing homeless crisis, who saw it coming, who really wanted to care for the most vulnerable in their communities to make sure that those who were living outside had the dignity that we all deserve. It sounds a little bit like today again, right? In your event yesterday as well. And that's really how Abode came to be, through that group of faith leaders coming together saying, we have a problem to solve, let's solve it together. They made a call to action, and that's where we are today. Abode has changed over the years in many ways, but has stayed the same, I would think, in more. We're still headquartered here in Fremont. I live in Fremont. My predecessor, Louis Chiquin, also is here in Fremont. And the core of what we do is the same. We help people find hope. We hold that hope for people even when they don't see it for themselves. And sometimes when you're at your lowest, you can't see that hope for yourself. You can't see that love that they were talking about here. And then we ensure people are treated with dignity. So we do a lot more. We serve 17,000 people a year in 8 counties, but at the core, we're really the same: dignity and hope. And what do? We do a lot, and we know in our heart of hearts that ending homelessness is possible. We do it every single day, and we do it with your help, and we use every tool in the toolbox. And you know a few things that we do. We do outreach, what many of you did yesterday, going out into the communities who are unhoused to provide the bare necessities, really just to keep them alive, right? To make sure that they have tents and sleeping bags and food and water, and that they're connected to the housing system so that when there is housing available, we know where to find them and that they trust us to accept it. So that's really a huge part of what we do. We have Sunrise Village. It's our emergency shelter down on Brown Road. Who's been to Sunrise Village? Anybody? I had to guess that it would not be unknown to y'all. We provide 3 meals a day, services, safe, warm. That dignity runs through there for 66 people any given night, so families and singles. And most importantly, we help them find housing, right? Because the shelter is just a short-term solution. It's the emergency room. And then we have dozens of housing programs. We are housing people out in the community in apartment complexes where you and I have lived. And then we have dedicated supportive housing buildings that provide more nurturing and support for people. We build that housing, we provide property management, and we provide services to make sure that people both get housed and stay housed, because we don't want people returning to homelessness after they've been housed. And I can talk on and on about the many, many programs, but at the core of what we do, it really goes down to three main ideas. People need somewhere to live. People need someone to love, and that starts with themselves usually. And then people need something to do, right? Something to find meaning in their lives. So we have all of these programs, but at the core, it's those three things: somewhere to live, someone to love, and something to do. And it's not easy. So I'm sure many of you in this room are struggling or know people who are struggling in many different ways. But I love living in the Bay Area, both because we have such diversity here, but also it's a place of the spirit of endless possibilities. We know that anything is possible, this innovation piece, right? That we can solve really hard problems that no one else can. But let's not kid ourselves, it's a formidable place to live, right? You have to earn more than $50 an hour to be able to afford a modest 2-bedroom apartment here. $50 an hour, that's a lot. That's over $100,000 a year. And most people living here actually make well over $160,000. That's a lot. We've set people up to fail in this community. And the failure of the system is being blamed on the people who the system has failed. That's not okay. We have to make it right. So I ask us all today to imagine a world where everyone can find safe and affordable housing in their community. How we would all be better off. And I call upon us to hold that image and help show it to our friends and families and people who can't really see it for themselves, can't imagine a world without people living outside. Because it's possible. And at the end, we all deserve somewhere to live, someone to love, and something to do. And for all of us who have those things, or most of those things, I really believe it's our responsibility to pay it forward, right? To do all that we can to make sure that everyone has those things. And that's what Abode does, and that's what I know all of you in this room do. So I want to thank you so much for having me today. Thank you for your spirit of love. And Reverend Ward knows where to find me. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Giving to Abode this morning means that we all get to play a role in the campaign to end homelessness. Your care and attention means real people in real moments of uncertainty and struggle will receive care and attention when they need it the most. We hope you will make a contribution to Abode by using our QR code on the screen or on the order of service, or making your check to Mission Peak UU congregation with Abode in the memo line. You can put a check in the basket, drop it in the office or the mail slot, or mail it to the address on the screen. Thank you for supporting the brave people of Fremont and beyond who navigate the world while unhoused. Your gift helps the staff and volunteers of Abode to make loving, learning, and leadership more possible.
Hello everyone, I'm Reverend Mariela. I come to you from Grand Rapids, Michigan today, but I'm originally from Cuba. My ancestors were indigenous of the Caribbean. They were Taino Arawak people. They were also from West Africa, the Yoruban people, and they were also from Spain. I want to speak to you today about refuge. I'm a refugee in this country. I came to the United States as a refugee in 1995, and the word refuge have been coming up a lot for me over the last few years as I found myself in trauma, living through trauma, surviving trauma day to day. And I realized that I didn't have a place of refuge, that I didn't have a sense of something larger where I could take refuge in. And then one day I started getting the image of a lighthouse. And the image of the lighthouse kept coming up, and I kept visiting the lighthouses here in Michigan. And what I realized was that I had to become a lighthouse to those parts of me that have been traumatized, that felt like they were lost in a stormy sea at night. So I realized that as part of self-leadership, I had to become the kind of leader to my inner parts. I had to create a refuge for them to be able to find their way back. The lighthouse metaphor became to something that I aspired to be. It was my aspiration to become a lighthouse of steady, steady love for any of my parts, or any of my family members, for any member of my community. It's like, how could I show up with steady love to support others? The lighthouse became a metaphor for me to become the keeper of the light and the keeper of the lighthouse. There were many parts that I welcomed in here, parts that again were lost out at sea, parts who were terrified, and I had to learn how to give refuge, how to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest part of the autonomic nervous system that provides a sense of calm and rest and refuge. So I had to learn how to breathe with my belly, because I was doing a lot of shallow breathing. Trauma does that. It changes the physiology in the body, so that we're doing all this shallow breathing, which is causing all kinds of harm to our bodies and our organs. So to provide refuge to my parts, I had to learn how to soothe myself. I had to learn how to take some deep belly breaths in through the nose, and the belly expands, out through the nose, and the belly comes back. In through the nose, and the belly inflates like a balloon. I had to learn to become calm and steady within, so that I could greet these parts that were traumatized, so I could greet them with steadiness, but also, again, so I could come out into the world and greet others with steadiness, so that I could bring this to my community, to the world that is so needy of my steadiness. To do that, I had to close shop for a while. I had to close my lighthouse for maintenance daily, and I recommend everybody doing that. We do not have to be shining bright every moment. We do not have to be giving hope constantly. We can take time to take care of our vessel. We can take time to come in and cultivate that steadiness that can give refuge to others. When someone comes to your door, they have seen the light and they come to your refuge. And again, I'm talking about your inner parts, I'm talking about your family members, I'm talking about your community, I'm talking about your congregations. We have to assess what the parts need. Some parts need protection. Like some bodies literally need to curl up. And so how can we create spaces in our house, in our houses of worship, in our communities, cozy spaces where people can feel refuge? How can we provide nourishment? Almost every part likes tea, the warmth of the tea, and almost all the parts like tapping, a little bit of tapping on your head. This is called emotional freedom technique. You can really, really, really release a lot of the energy that is stored, that is bothering you within by doing tapping. You can search this emotional freedom technique. It frees you. It creates an inner environment that feels like shelter. It creates an inner environment that feels like refuge. And so the idea is, how can we cultivate these practices? How can we teach them to others? How can we become grounded in love, in steadiness, in safety? The nervous system is all about safety. Our wounded parts inside of ourselves and in our communities need safety. And so we gotta think about that. Refuge is about safety and feeling safe and connection and bonding. To me, what brings me hope is that our nervous systems were designed for times such as this. Our nervous systems have the capacity to heal themselves. We just need to give the body what it needs. We just need to, first and foremost, listen to the body. I love to listen to the soft animal of my body who tells me that it's at capacity, or how much capacity it has for doing which chore. So when I listen to my body, to the soft animal of my body, when I care for the soft animal of my body, when I listen to its wisdom, that gives me hope, because it leads me into a place of sustainability and resilience. My ego will push and push and push. My ego will want to go save the whole entire world because my heart is big. But I need to listen to my body. I need to go with the intelligence and the wisdom of my body, which is the intelligence and the wisdom of Mama Nature, of Mother Nature. So if you don't have a lighthouse, I recommend a rock, something heavy, something steady, something that can ground you, something that can give you hope. What do you believe in? What can you hold on to for certain, for sure? All of this is what I believe we need to face the troubles that are at our door, worldwide, personally, everywhere. We need to remember to work with nature, to give the body what it needs. Long, deep breath, warm tea, beauty, community, nourishment, validation. Our bodies are exhausted and we can say, that makes sense. It makes sense you're exhausted. Our bodies are grieving and we can say, it makes sense that you're grieving. There is so much pain. There's been so much lost. We can grieve. Around here, I say that what is not expressed is depressed. And so when I become a lighthouse, or when I have something to believe in, when I have something to ground me, it allows me to express that, because whatever I can express is not bigger than that, which brings me hope, which gives me faith. That one thing I know I can depend on. I wish you beauty. I wish you peace. I wish you moments where you can close your lighthouse for maintenance, where you can come within and cultivate the light that you can bring out into the world. A steady, 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 loving energy.
So how has it been for you in the storm of the last 7 weeks or so? Has the light atop your lighthouse ever felt like it was flickering or about to go dark? Let's go through just a few things that have happened over the last couple months. And here is your trigger warning for trauma at hearing the details on the dismantling of democracy. In just the last 2 months, the new administration in place has granted clemency to those found guilty of the January 6th insurrection. They've removed top officials at the Department of the Treasury and gave access to our private data to Elon Musk and Dodge. They moved to dismantle U.S. aid, requested the resignation of millions of federal workers, invoked the 1798 Wartime Alien Enemies Act to round up undocumented migrants and reported that they would be sent to Guantanamo Bay. Accused Ukraine of starting the war with Russia and capitulated to Putin's rhetoric. Terminated federal diversity, equity, and inclusion programs across the country. Instituted tariffs on Mexico, Canada, China, and Europe, starting global trade wars. Proposed the annexation of Canada, Greenland, the Panama Canal, and renamed the Gulf of Mexico. Proposed that the U.S. take over Gaza. Restored the federal death penalty. Just yesterday, CNN and MSNBC were called illegal for reporting negatively on the president. On Friday, Arlington Cemetery stripped content on black and female veterans from their website. That list was frighteningly easy to put together, and it threatens the well-being and safety of many, many millions of people. Do you know any of those people? Do you know anyone who is looking for a lighthouse? At this minute, there are millions of people who are feeling that their future is threatened. Perhaps you know someone who is undocumented, or living on the streets, or in their car. Someone who relies on food stamps. Perhaps you know persons of color whose voting rights are threatened. Those who are formally incarcerated. Transgender, queer, gay, or lesbian. Perhaps you know a woman needing reproductive health care. Perhaps you know a federal employee, a journalist, someone who receives Medicaid or Medicare, someone who depends on Social Security. And how is it with your own lighthouse? Have you experienced any flickering? Has transmission of your signal grown dim? Is it time to close for maintenance? How do you recharge, restock, restore, and renew, especially if you have friends coming to you who are empty and scared and need your light to help them see that steady place again? One of the primary purposes of this morning's service is to remind each of us of the importance of personal daily maintenance. Every source of light, every source of love is needed right now to help withstand the long-term withering effects of hate, which isn't going away anytime soon. So it is time to take stock of our own capacity for resilience. Reverend Mariella said it well. because her heart is so big and she wants to save the entire world, her ego pushes her beyond the limits of her body. She relies on those moments where she can close her lighthouse for maintenance, so she can sit with a warm cup of tea, so that she can practice tapping. These are great techniques. What do you do? Maybe you take time for daily exercise or yoga. Or maybe for you it's dancing like the people in the video, or singing, especially singing with other people. Or getting out into nature, or visiting the ocean or the mountains that are so large, paying attention to the wildlife around you. Maybe you take time to just get quiet and meditate and pray and journal and read or recite poetry, or practice deep belly breathing, recite a soothing mantra. Here are a few more techniques to add to your toolbox. Try being inspired by the video early on and make it a regular spiritual practice to even daily reach out and tell someone in your life that you love them. Try reading inspiring books that speak of finding strength and courage. Try exploring such books with groups of people. The point is, your mental, emotional, spiritual health are essential right now. Keeping your light shining brightly is important, not only for you, but for those around you who need your light.
Almost everyone who is a member of any marginalized group is experiencing waves of overwhelm right now. We are witnessing planned chaos unleashed in a disorientingly orchestrated way. For many who are being targeted, the experience of existential threat is terrifying, but not new. The subtle dehumanizing, the casual ways that basic rights and claims to equality, leadership, power are being undermined. These are old traumas simply resurfacing, but they are painful nonetheless. These are the people for whom many of us are called to keep our light burning bright. And it may not be enough to wait for them to find our light. We gotta reach out. We may need to use our light to go out and provide outposts of sanctuary. But mark this, providing safety and sanctuary is not selfless sacrifice. These targeted people have something valuable that we need. They are people for whom mitigating terror and cultivating resilience aren't new. Many of them come from a long lineage of courageous survivors. Their hearts, their minds, their memories are lined with the faces of inspiring heroes and martyrs. They know injustice. They are the very people who made our current path to justice possible. They remind us to see not only audacious threat, but also the ridiculous absurdity of immoral unfairness that this bullying is built upon. And they help us to expose the absurdity. Recently, in one of our poems groups, a poem was shared that lifted up this absurdity and shone a spotlight on it. It highlighted how, for countless generations, women's rights, women's wisdom, women's leadership have been delegitimized. Since yesterday was the birthday of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, we wanted to honor her by sharing that poem with you now. The poem is by a woman named Danielle Coffin, and it's called If Adam Picked the Apple. You had to know I'd love this, right? Okay. If Adam picked the apple, there would be a parade, a celebration, a holiday to commemorate the day he sought enlightenment. We would not speak of temptation by the devil. Rather, we would laud Adam's curiosity, his desire for adventure and knowing. We would feast on apple-inspired fare, torts, chutneys, pancakes, pies. There would be plays and songs reenacting his courage. But it was Eve who grew bored, weary of her captivity in Eden. And a woman's desire for freedom is rarely a cause for celebration. Could you hear it? Could you hear the absurdity that's holding up the injustice? Now, of course, there are similar poems for our undocumented folks, our LGBTQ folks, people of color, the poor. There are so many varieties of injustice and oppression.
The poem, a little bit like last week's service, invokes the story of awakening, that moment Adam and Eve picked the fruit of the tree of life and suddenly understood our shared purpose. It was at that point that the Garden of Eden began to feel absurdly small and limited compared with everything out in the world that needed to be done. We wanted you to use this story and share with you this simple ritual of awakening. We ask all of you who are willing and able to stand and come forward to the center aisle to partake in this communion. We will give you a toothpick and ask you to use it to take a piece of apple. Don't eat your apple right away. Instead, carry it back to your seat so you can come forward and start picking up your apples. Think of this as a precipice moment, an awakening. Consider this to be the transfer moment where sacred wisdom becomes known to you. In this communion, you will not be scolded or shamed for taking the apple. It is not forbidden fruit. quite the opposite. Remember, the tree of knowledge, the tree of good and evil, was placed in the very center of the garden. It was put there in order to be found. This wisdom is for you. It has been waiting for you. It is the revealing of truth that there are real injustices in the world, and that these injustices affect real people and threaten to extinguish hope and light for all people. Consider this apple that you now have to be that transfer of hope. It is provided to transfer light to a new generation of light keepers, to keep goodness and justice burning bright within you, and so that you can shine out new possibilities, that a sanctuary of hope and resilience exists in this frightened world. So now, take and eat of this fruit and awaken to the truth that good and evil exist, and that you have not only the wisdom to recognize that they are in the world, but it is your task to call out evil and call in those who seek refuge from it.
May nothing evil cross this door, and may ill fortune never pry about these windows. May the roar and rain go by. By faith made strong, the rafters will withstand the battering of the storm. This hearth, though all the world go chill, will keep you warm. Peace shall walk softly through these rooms, touching our lips with holy wine, till every casual corner blooms into a shrine. With laughter drown the raucous shout, and though these sheltering walls are thin, may they be strong to keep hate out and hold love in. The last 15, 16 years now, a copy of those words, that's the lyrics to May Nothing Evil Cross This Door, a copy of those words is hung in the entryway to whatever house or apartment I've lived in. It's a prayer, a blessing. I've always really loved this hymn, but we know this song isn't about a house, or at least it's not just about a house or just about a house of worship, right? It's about community. It's about our communities, which seemed fitting as a worship theme to start this workshop, right? So this hymn begins with a prayer of protection. May nothing evil cross this door, and may ill fortune never pry about these windows. May the roar and rain go by. It's a plea for security. Please keep us safe. Now the next stanza then starts talking about infrastructure, the rafters, the hearth. So bad weather is going to happen. Storms that crash down on the roof, they're part of life. In this structure though, the strength, what it takes to keep the roof on, strength comes from faith. Now there is a definition of faith I really like. That which allows you to accept that which you cannot understand. Collective, the community, the work of love, that's what it is for me. And that faith will fortify rafters to withstand any storm. And don't forget, of course, about the hearth, the heart of the home. That heart that holds and comforts, that envelops us when the outside world is cold. This is a place of refuge. Now that third stanza, it moves. Walking, touching, blooming, and it's peace. Peace is active. There's motion, not static. That active peace, that action from groundedness brings holy wine, brings communion, brings connections, so that even the most casual encounter is sacred. Now we get to the last stanza, which opens with laughter, drown the raucous shout. What a shift from a plea for safety, right? Moving verse upon verse, growing encounter to encounter, engaging. This holy community brings forth laughter, energy, joy. What drowns the raucous shout out is not righteous indignation. It's not clever wordplay. It's not Robert's rules. It's laughter. Now, deep laughter takes vulnerability, mixed with confidence, a little delight, sprinkled with surprise. And it creates palpable energy, so big it doesn't matter how thin the walls are, with strength that comes from faith, sustenance from the warmth of community, peace in motion, blessing and engaging, recognizing every counter is sacred, joy so big that it overcomes the outside noise. See, that is love in action. And you know what? Hate doesn't stand a chance. I love this hymn. Except for that last line. That last line. May they be strong to keep hate out and hold love in. It's actually the last three words. Hold love in? No! I totally disagree. 100% theologically wrong. But I get the temptation, right? When things are hard out there, storm's been knocking you around, finding a place that's warm, that's comfortable, that's comforting, a place where we're not alone, where we can laugh. I mean, who wants to go back into the storm? It's cold, it's wet, there's lightning, there's raucous shouting, it's risky out there, right? It's tempting to say, hey, safe, it's good enough, keep hate out, hold love in. Now, I'm not a songwriter, I don't have an alternative 3 words, but I will tell you right now, Unitarian Universalism can be a shelter, but it's not a bunker. So come into community, get dry, get warm, get fed, get blessed, and then light a chalice and take that love out into the world.
Please join with me in our chalice extinguishing with the words on the screen. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
I once read something inscribed in the entryway to a church, and it said, "This is a church with walls to keep the roof up, not people out." May we find refuge, sustenance, laughter. And I pray that the walls of every Unitarian Universalist community keep the roof up, but they don't keep our people in. Amen, and blessed be.